like to hear from active police in the United States about all the riot control training that is going on record. I would like to hear from active duty military about riot control preparations, about the litmus test, will you confiscate guns from American citizens? We've had Navy SEALs on the show. We have had basically military police with video of them being told they're under FEMA command and that gun confiscation may happen if Obama suspends the Constitution. That is the type of information that we have. And we separately, on top of that, we separately have all of our articles dealing with the purging of the top military brass, like retired Army Major General Patrick Brady, recipient of the U.S. military's highest decoration, the Medal of Honor, said that top officers that he's talked to say President Obama's agenda is decimating the morale of the U.S. ranks to the point where members no longer feel prepared to fight or to have the desire to win. There's no doubt he, Obama, is intent on emaciating the military and will fire anyone who disagrees with him over such issues as homosexuals, women in foxholes, the Obama sequester, Brady told WorldNet Daily. They are purging everyone, and if you want to keep your job, just keep your mouth shut, one source told WorldNet Daily. Not only are military service members demoralizing the ranks, overall readiness being reduced by the Obama administration, it goes through that. Retired Army Lieutenant General William G. Jerry Boykin, who was with Delta Force, well, he founded Delta Force, and later Deputy Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence under President Bush, says it's worrying that four-star generals are being retired at the rate that has occurred under Obama. They're being fired. Over the past 3 years, it's unprecedented for the number of four-star generals to be relieved of duty, and it not necessarily relieved for cause, Boykin said. I believe there is a purging of the military. He said the problem is worse than we have ever seen. Yeah, that's undoubted. And folks, we know that AP reported that they were told not to report this information, that it had to be leaked to them, and that Obama does not want people knowing this is going on. So I want to hear from people in the Department of Defense, civilians, active duty military officers, recently out officers, military police, and active police. Because if you study history, this is unprecedented what's happening. This is a big, big deal, and it's getting crazier and crazier. And they're already using the IRS to persecute the Tea Party, Christians, mainline groups. We already have all the new Army manuals, bad-mouthing the Founding Fathers. All of the Founding Father-type material is being taken off the uniforms. They're, talking about getting rid of George Washington on the Purple Heart. I mean, that's the type of stuff that's happening. They're getting the "Don't Tread on Me" off the Navy uniforms. There it is, CBS News. Army vet mother banned, yeah, I saw that this morning, from daughter's school for posting concealed weapons permit on Facebook. And now imagine the Army vet mother on her own Facebook just post her concealed carry permit, just showing it to somebody. It's totally legal and lawful, and then they're banned from the school. Oh, yeah, I mean, if your dad's in the Marines and you ever bring a photo of your dad with his sidearm on, that was the case, the kid is kicked out for a photo of a gun. This is the authoritarianism, and you think, oh, these people are idiots. They're not idiots. It's upheld. They kicked a kid out of school for having a Nerf gun in his backyard playing tag. A neighbor called the school. The school's meant to run your life. It's the takeover arm in their own documents. So we're going to go to break and come back with your phone calls at 800-259-9231, 800-259-9231, and we will get you up and on the air. I want to hear what you have to say about the officers being purged out of the military, what the military thinks about this, and of course it's meant to ruin the military, to put women in frontline combat. Nobody does that. Of course it's going to cause incredible problems and fraternization. Of course women, they're having to lower the standards. I can't carry some 70-pound pack on 20-mile runs. I mean, I couldn't carry a 70-pound pack. I couldn't run a mile unless I had to, like, save my family or something. I mean, I could jog like 3 or 4 miles. Imagine that. Imagine a woman carrying an average woman, and they're already lowering the standards. Again, it's not about equality, folks. It's about wrecking institutions, wrecking The name mother and father has been banned in France in government documents. Now they're banning it in the U.S. The federal government tells its employees, don't invite married couples, saying, oh, we're going to have a couples party. That's hurtful. See, it's not about inclusion. It's about exclusion of us. It's about discrimination against men, against women, against families. There it is. France bans the words mother and father. Are we choosing our own destiny, or has it been pre-selected for us?
As we've moved through history, every great leader has had to understand the potential of information.
Billions of dollars have been spent privately and publicly looking at how to tap into your psyche.
From compulsory state education to the Hollywood media brainwashing machine, we are kept in perpetual bondage to the ideas that shape our actions.
When somebody obscures that feedback loop between you observing and testing it out and verifying it, they can take total control of your awareness.
All of this is happening so fast, you need to be ahead of the game.
How to engineer the opinion of the American people so that they would not only endorse but demand a war.
Oh, there's another one. Another plane just hit.
State of Mind, because there's a war on for your mind. Get your copy of State of Mind, the movie, at Infowars.com. And remember, every order at InfoWarsStore.com receives a free citizen rulebook. Well, the show has a bigger audience than it's ever had. But we've had a bunch of people call in that are retired, Department of Defense, or out of the military, wanting to comment about the purge. On any given day, when not even on subject, military calls in to talk about the purge news. But we've not gotten any calls from active duty military or police talking about preparations for riot control, talking about preparations for economic collapse. I mean, we've got all the documents. In fact, here are some of the articles. DHS publicly denies preparation for riots, civil unrest, flip-flop while admitting equipment and armed guards for, quote, civil disturbances. Federal agency claims otherwise. Remember the TSA would be videotaped hundreds of times, sticking their hands in the pants? And they would say, we don't do that. That's a lie. Responding to an inquiry by the International Business Times regarding the recent purchase of riot control equipment that we broke, that Drudge carried, pepper spray launchers, pepper spray projectiles, as well as the hiring of armed guards with top-secret security clearances, I should add, to protect government buildings, the DHS dismissed reports, primarily from InfoWars, which such activity was related to preparations for domestic disorder. These reports are false. The reference Federal Protective Services acquisition request, including automatic pepper spray guns, requested for protective security officers will replace an existing contract due to expire in November 2014, which provides security and screening within federal facilities throughout the upstate New York area. So they used one of many examples. And you heard them. There's also no drones over America, even though there are. And there's no thimerosal in the vaccines, even though there are. It just goes on and on. So there's all these admissions, even in mainstream state-run media, that this is going on, and they're busy telling us it's not. So there was an article in the Fort Hood paper last week we wrote about where they were admitting it was for domestic unrest. I mean, this is all over the news. So I'd like to hear from police, military, active duty, on the purge, on the civil unrest buildup. What do you make of this latest lie? And I've seen a lot of calls coming in there, but none of them are calling in on the specific of that. So, again, I'm going to give out the toll-free number, 800-259-9231, 800-259-9231. But first, while those calls are coming in, I wanted to play a New World Order clip that I only played part of in the first hour today. That was just a few clips put together by my crew. We could put hours of these out. In fact, I think it was the extra from Fabled Enemies. No, it was the next Burmese film we produced. Where we just had hours, if we wanted to use it all, of them announcing global government, New World Order, and defining the current New World Order definition as a planetary corporate government that is above the law. So I want to play this clip, and then we'll come back and go to your phone calls. Again, the toll-free number, and we'll also open it up for folks who want to talk about Obamacare or any other news, but we'll try to get those military calls in. 800-259-9231, and just open the phones entirely up there. So we do have some military calls coming in. We'll go to those, then the other calls. But right now, they blamed us a few days ago and yesterday that I believe in the New World Order. I made that up. And this imaginary thing made the guy reportedly go shoot the TSA people, shooting and wounding 6, killing 1. Folks, the New World Order is what they call the new global order of... When they use the term New World Order, they mean a new global power structure run by them. Planetary government is what their definition of it means in all the big white papers. But they'll still act like that no one's even using this term. I mean, for over a decade, the media has said that I'm insane. No one's even using this term. So let's go to that clip.
Good evening, everybody. President Obama and British Prime Minister Gordon today calling for a new world order to tackle our global economic crisis.
And the president outlined his vision of a new world order in which the U.S. would participate fully.
We've got to give them a stake in creating the kind of world order that I think all of us would like to see.
So I see a world order in the future with a multipolar world order.
I think a new world order is emerging, and with it the foundations of a new and progressive era of international cooperation.
But in a globalized economy, we are going to have to take global responsibilities, and there is going to have to be some semblance of global governance.
Never before has a new world order had to be assembled from so many different perceptions or on so global a scale. Nor has any previous order had to combine the attributes of the historic balance of power system with global democratic opinion and the exploding technology of the contemporary period.
And I strongly believe India will be a central actor in the new world order.
There also exists an extraordinary opportunity to form for the first time in history a truly global society.
2009 is also the first year of global governance with the establishment of the G20 in the middle of the financial crisis. The climate conference in Copenhagen is another step towards the global management of our planet.
New World Order is the headline in the Globe and Mail in Canada.
Is this global governance at last? Is it one world, the central bankers in charge? But aren't we all just living and dying for what the central banks do?
Of course we are. We are absolutely slaves to central banks.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful,
and we will be,
we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations
where the globalists are above the law
can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders. It is a big idea, a new world order, a world in which there is the very real prospect of a new world order.
After 1989, President Bush said, and it's a phrase that I often use myself, that we needed a new world order.
There is a chance for the President of the United States to use this disaster to carry out what his father, a phrase his father used, I think, only once, and hasn't been used since, and that is a new world order.
So that the problem of the Bush presidency will be the emergence of a new international order.
Within the next 4 years, we will see the emergence of a new international order.
The beginning of a new international order.
The pieces are in flux. Soon they will settle again. Before they do, let us reorder this world around us.
I think its task will be to develop an overall strategy for America in this period when really a new world order can be created. It's a great opportunity. It isn't just a crisis.
It's about the future of Europe and a new world order.
There's a need for a new world order, but it has different characteristics in different parts of the world.
But today, with Asia